first, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu welcomes President Tinubu ahead Red Line Rail inauguration. Army uncovers 40 oil wells in Rivers community, arrests suspects. On the foreign scene, Texas battles second biggest wildfire disaster in history. And in sport, Manchester United to face Liverpool in FA Cup quarterfinals. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. All is set for the unveiling of the Lagos Red Line Rail project. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu revealed this on his official X handle, describing the event as truly momentous occasion as he received President Bola Tinubu. The president, who arrived Lagos at about 6 p.m. on Wednesday, was received by the governor and other government officials at the Murtala Mohammed Airport. The commissioning of the Red Line train will signal the takeoff of another major game changer in the state's transportation infrastructure as it brings to two the rail lines owned and operated by the Lagos State government. It will be recalled that Governor Sanwo-Olu on Saturday took a test run of the Red Line train, inspecting the tracks and the rail corridors for another time. The 37-kilometer rail line built by the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, will be inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu along with its stations and other ancillary facilities. The Red Line traverses 7 stations from Agbado, a boundary town in Ogun State, to Oyingbo in Lagos Central. Operatives of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, have warned mass transit bus drivers and owners against contravening traffic laws. General Manager of LASMA, Olale Kombakaruki, said this during a courtesy visit by operators and drivers and owners of federal mass transit buses to his office at Oshodi, Lagos. Bakaruki said the agency would not condone any form of illegality such as indiscriminate parking on roadside curbs, walkways, setbacks, thereby obstructing the free movement of vehicles. Earlier in his address, the chairman of operators, drivers and owners of federal mass transit buses, Abed Achewa, and his team acknowledged the importance of LASMA officers in improving travel time and ensuring free flow of traffic on Lagos roads. Achewa called for more collaboration that would promote safety of motoring public. Lagos State Government, through a scheduled stakeholders meeting, has presented another opportunity for people's participation in the ongoing preparation of the Lagos Island Model City Plan. Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Oluyinka Olumide, said the state government had scheduled Thursday, 7th of March 2024 for the final stakeholders engagement on the planning document at the Ajip Recital Hall of the Museum Center, Oniko, Lagos. Olumide said the proposed stakeholders meeting, which would be the final stage of the series of stakeholders' input into the evolving document, was aimed at developing an inclusive Lagos Island Model City Plan that would address the aspirations of all Lagosians. He added that since the inauguration of the Technical Committee in August 2021, the preparation of the plan had witnessed a bottom-up approach, including the initial engagement with benefiting communities and the public display of the final draft of the plan at 4 different centers across the plan area. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in 5 new permanent secretaries. They are Mahmoud Adegbite, Mrs. Leila Oke, Mr. Latif Shemide, Mr. Emmanuel Audu, and Mr. Adeshino Ayokunu. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged the new permanent secretaries to uphold the ethics of professionalism to achieve the administration's Themes Plus agenda. The governor, who acknowledged the daunting economic challenges in the country, urged the new appointees to show empathy in the discharge of their duties to bring circle to all residents in the state.
Therefore, the task ahead is not without challenges, especially in this period when the citizens' attention is focused on all of us. With high expectations to cushion the effects of our current economic hardship and galloping economic issues. We believe that the government at the center has the capacity, has the forthrightness, and has the ability to change the fortune of this country. And this government will continue to support that administration.
In a vote of assurance on behalf of the new permanent secretaries, Mrs. Leila Oki promised that they will leverage the ongoing successes of the Sanwo-Olu administration for a greater Lagos rising.
We promise to live up to the trust reposed in us by this appointment with utmost integrity and sincerity of purpose, even as we continue to enhance the visibility of the Lagos brand to the glory of God and the satisfaction of the citizens of Lagos State.
Earlier in his welcome address, the State Head of Service, Olabode Aguru, noted that the appointment shows the commitment of the state government to transparency, accountability and excellence, with a call on the new permanent secretaries to be selfless in the discharge of their duties in return for the confidence reposed in them by the governor.
As I want to admonish you to ensure that you maintain good standing with your political heads and all the staff in your respective MBAs for speedy attainment of your given mandate. I have full confidence in your individual abilities to add value to the quality of service delivery, which in the long run will go a long way to complement the efforts of the state government towards achieving its developmental agenda.
Governor Sanwo-Olu deployed Mr. Mahmood Adegbite to the Office of Drainage Services, Mrs. Leila Oki to Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASIC, Mr. Emmanuel Audu to Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Latif Shamide to the Office of Infrastructure, and Mr. Adeshino Ayokono to the Office of the Surveyor General, while Mr. Tokumbo Ajanoku was announced as the new General Manager, Public Works Corporation. And now to the rest of the stories. The war against illegal oil bunkering and oil theft has received a huge boost on Wednesday as troops of the 6th Division, Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, uncovered over 40 dugout crude oil wells in Rumwepe community in Mohwa local government area of River State. The General Officer commanding 6th Division, Jamal Abdusalam, who led the operation, said the troops uncovered the site during a sweep and clear operation on the Trans-Niger Delta pipeline. Abdusalam stated that the oil wells, which were about 40 feet deep, were the latest technique employed by criminals in stealing crude oil from underground. He described the discovery as an eye-opener for the army in the war against oil theft in the Niger Delta region. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has ruled out an extension of the February 28 deadline for the linkage of subscriber identity module SIM cards to National Identification Numbers (NIN). To this end, telecommunication companies have been directed to bar 12 million lines which have not been linked to NINs after the expiration of the deadline. The Director of Public Affairs, NCC, Ruben Moka, confirmed the development. Also, the Chairman, Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Benga Adebayo, said the telecommunication operators would comply with the NCC's directive. He said out of the 224 million active lines, about 12 million lines risks deactivation. Wife of the President, Oluremi Tinubu, says the economic transformation and development of the nation calls for collaborative efforts on the part of both the government and the governed. Mrs. Tinubu said this at the flag-off of the Renewed Hope Initiative RHI Women Agricultural Support Program, RHI WASP, held in the Southeast Zone. She reiterated the commitment of the RHI in supporting women farmers across the nation. Mrs. Tinubu explained to the women that each beneficiary will get 500,000 naira each, in addition to agricultural inputs such as fingerlings, fish and poultry feeds, 3-week-old birds, bundle of improved cassava stems, bags of fertilizers and others. Now to foreign news. A rapid spreading Texas wildfire has forced residents to evacuate, cut off power to homes and businesses, and briefly paused operations at a nuclear weapons facility. The second largest fire in Texas history has burned 850,000 acres of land north of the city of Amarillo. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 60 counties. Dry grass, high temperatures, and strong winds have fueled the conflagration. In Hutchinson County, one of the hardest hit areas, the public engagement coordinator, Deidre Thomas, said one person has died in the blazes. Meanwhile, rain is expected in the state's northern panhandle on Thursday, which may aid efforts to extinguish the blaze. And a teenager has been jailed for carrying out what is thought to be Australia's first school shooting. The 15-year-old from Perth fired 3 shots with 2 rifles at the Atlantis Beach Baptist College in May 2023. Staff and students were left cowering in cupboards and under desks before police eventually arrested him. The judge, who sentenced him to 3 years in juvenile detention, said good luck had prevented a tragic outcome as no one was hurt in the shooting. In our sports, Manchester United will host Liverpool in the Emirates FA Cup quarterfinals. The pairing was announced after the round of 16 fixtures on Wednesday night. The United had to rely on an 89th minute goal by Casemiro to beat Nottingham Forest 1-1 away to get to the last 8, while Liverpool overcame Championship side Southampton 3-0 at Anfield to progress. FA Cup holders Manchester City will welcome Newcastle United at the Etihad, and Wolverhampton Wanderers will entertain Coventry City. And that ends our news at 10. Just before we go, always obey road signs and traffic lights. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered over 1,000 residents at the 3rd phase of the Mega Empowerment Program? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. All is set for the unveiling of the Lagos Red Line Rail project. The war against illegal oil bunkering and oil theft has received a huge boost on Wednesday as troops of the 6th Division Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, uncovered over 40 dugout crude oil wells in Rumwepe community in Mohwa local government area of Rivers State. We also told you that a rapidly spreading Texas wildfire has forced residents to evacuate, cut off power to homes and businesses, and briefly pause operations at a nuclear weapons facility. And in sport, Manchester United will host Liverpool at the Emirates FA Cup quarterfinals. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstate.gov.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowolaya. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.